2022?
But you know what?
Even prior to that, the one where Deuteronomy 10 through 14, I can't remember the chapter.
That's crazy.
I know.
In your worldview, is grape actually wrong?
All right, in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to get some
It's
ass
not about
because
whether or
this is
not grape.
boring.
It's not whether or not grape is wrong. It's about if it's endorsed.
No, Chase, hold on. Hurry up, guys,
Debate the
please.
topic.
Look, Dwight's up
You want to
here.
do that?
Dwight will debate.
Dwight, do it. Dwight, will do it.
Okay, Dwight's the new challenger, so Dwight gets priority. Dwight, what do you pick?
I'll debate. The Bible endorses slavery.
Okay, let's go. All right,
Well,
thank you,
does
Isa, for coming up.
Does
Thank
Whit
you, Sam,
agree
for
with
coming
it?
up. We're gonna need.
Do I agree with it?
Hello?
Yeah, do you agree?
Like, I don't know how a book endorses anything, but whatever. Let's just debate it to get it over with.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So, since Dwight has the affirmative,
He has
Dwight
the
starts.
affirmative, so he has to start.
Yeah, yep. So, Dwight, go
I go
ahead.
first?
So whenever you say your
Oh,
first
boy.
word.
Okay. Yeah, does the Bible endorse slavery? Endorse is going to mean to publicly support or condone. The Bible definitely publicly supports and condones slavery. This doesn't have to be a declarative sentence like somebody shouting it out. It could be written. So a book can endorse things. You're not saying that it's a personal preference of the book. You're just saying that the book expounds on such an idea. So there are plenty of verses in the Bible. Deuteronomy 25, Leviticus 25:44 through 46 is the most explicit, saying that you can, in fact, buy your slaves from the nations around you, and you can own them for life. This is clearly slavery. This isn't just bonded debt. Slavery. This is chattel. There are also verses in Joshua and Judges where God says, declare to the town that they need to leave, they need to abandon it, it's yours now, and if they don't leave, you can either enslave them, which is real slavery. This isn't just bonded debt again, this is chattel slavery, that you can take them as your slaves and or just unalive them, but you can, it does explicitly say that you can actually take them as slaves. There are also verses in Exodus that explicitly say that you can sell your daughters into slavery. You can look at Josh Bowen's book, Does the Bible Endorse Slavery? This is explicitly selling your daughter. This isn't just a dowry. You could sell your children. You can do it to pay debt. You can do it for any sorts of reasons, but they can be taken as property. This is one way that a slave owner can provide a bride, to a slave.
Oh, finish up your sentence.
Okay, that's it.
And then, for the rest of the time, you guys do open cross-examination.
Okay.
What up?
What up, Dwight? So, look, I feel like there's many reasons that I can ask. Obviously, you know me about interpretive principles, container of the canon. I'll just state my position in a broad sense, right? We see the Old Testament and an overarching theme of the Old Testament being that the law does not save us, right? And we have the Mosaic laws. We have at least an account of how the tribe of Israel dealt with such issues. Pertaining to these things such as slavery. I would take at least the position that we're seeing an account of how they dealt with such positions. I don't really think that this is an explicit endorsement that this was okay in this respect, or that I know we're not necessarily debating whether God would say that this was okay, but even from this perspective, we can take that slavery has many different contexts and understandings, just as Adam and Eve do, right? And But this all just comes back down to some kind of hermeneutic and traditional history of teaching. And I just would say at this point that I don't think that you can really justify why I should hold to such an interpretation.
So did you say, did I hear you say that this was one way of Israel dealing with what did you say exactly? This is how Israel dealt with these issues?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's an account of that, right? You know, at least of how they dealt with the institution of slavery.
Right. So when you talk about a hermeneutic, essentially it sounds like you're conceding that this was, even if it isn't, I'm not saying it has to be God is endorsing this, right? That's not the point of here, but it sounds like you are agreeing with the topic that this is how the Israelites dealt with it, and they did enumerate it, right, in these laws, just as we see in Hammurabi codes and other places. They also wrote down these laws similarly.
Right. So, I mean, the whole debate prompt is whether, like, the Bible, which is why I said I'm not really sure how a book can take a stance on anything. But I would say that if, like, your argument is that, like, the Israelites engaged in the practice of slavery, you know, then I would largely agree with you. I wouldn't agree that, like, if we're taking the Bible as some kind of, if you're just saying, like, this is indicative of what Christianity would endorse, then we would have a massive disagreement on that.
Right. So we don't really have a big disagreement. Is that? I mean,
No.
it kind of sounds like that's what I'm hearing.
No, well,
Like
I mean,
the Israelites, they dealt with
it.
it. They wrote it down.
I had a problem with the prompt itself anyway, but, like, I just think, like, in a broader sense, right, people can make some kind of notation that, well, look, this is, you know, the law of Moses, and then it gets into the understanding of, well, did God dictate these things, right? But again, like, that's all going to be interpretation again, and I don't think that when people make this argument, it's mostly like, well, it's the Bible's dictating this, right, and saying that this is what happened and this is how they dealt with it. And that's a larger endorsement that Christianity thinks slavery is awesome, right? And I just don't think.
Well, I don't think Christianity has to. I do think the development of being against slavery developed after the Bible was canonized, but we see it in the early church fathers. I agree with that, but that doesn't change what the book says, right? This isn't really about interpretation. It's just about whether or not the book does, in fact, openly
I think
endorse or openly allow it.
Sure.
Right?
I mean, I think that it shows that Israel engaged in the practice and dealt with how to do that. Now, you can go about and say that, you know, I mean, I'm going to concede that Israel's force-centered. So I don't really have an issue as far as that goes, but I think when people make this argument, it's just a larger notion that, like, you know, because Israel engaged in this and that God didn't stop it in the way that I think he should deal with it, and, you know, therefore Christianity loves slavery or something. That's typically how it goes.
Oh, yeah. That's not how I'm dealing with it, though.
Yeah.
So would you agree that saying that you can do something is approval of that action?
Like
saying that it's okay for you to do
lying
X is approval of X?
Are you saying, like, by permission that means I approve of it? Like, I have
by allowing it,
an attitude
when you can. I'm just saying, if you allow it when you could ban it, right? Let's take it away from slavery for just a second. Let's just say you could read book X, right? And some authority that has the right or whatever to say no, you can't, or yes, you can. They say, yeah, you can do that. Is that approval that you can read it? Not approval of the book or the contents, but at least approval that you can do it.
Yeah, I don't think that in every case, right, when you talk about like an allowance of something, that means that you approve of such things. I mean, you can take, I think in some
But
ways,
specifically, if you could disallow it, is what I'm saying.
if you could disallow it,
Yeah.
from my perspective of God and humanity and how he works with us, I would say that like, and I'm not making some kind of like cant or impossibility notion. I'm just saying that I tend to think that this is, that it wouldn't be that like that God would intervene in such a way, I guess, if we're going to take that.
Well, I'm not worried about the God question so much. It's
Mhm.
just is allowing something when you could deny it. Is
Yeah, I
that
mean,
not
God, sure. I
approval?
mean, God
Okay.
could, in a logical sense, just end all things at this point. If we're going to do that, I just think it goes against his very nature. As far as that goes.
To end slavery?
No, but good W rhetoric at the end. Thank you for
Okay.
that.
All right. Okay, so, all right. So judges, go ahead. Give your feedback and your decision.
What you got for us?
Cage.
Cage, just Jim,
Oh,
and
Jim.
the Stones.
Yeah,
Well,
case. Yeah.
I think
I like the yeah. Okay.
I think that that Dwight gave kind of a valid argument in terms of why he would take the position that the book itself endorses slavery. Not sure that the arguments against it were very strong, so I'm going to give this to Dwight.
Slurms or cage?
Full of goldfish. Can Cage go?
Look at the good cage, please. Is Cage there?
You there, Cage? He did say he was gonna go get some ass.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
I don't want
getting
Cage
ass.
to get ass
Maybe
right
he's-
now.
Maybe he's in mid-stroke right now. So
Yeah, I just finished the goldfish, so I can.
Okay, you
Go
go ahead,
ahead.
Slurms, and then
Well, it's quite coincidental that he said he was gonna get some ass, and then Slur's mouth was still on it.
What exactly
Yeah,
are
something's going on right now. I don't know what's going on.
Yo,
All right,
can we do a
Slurms, go ahead,
wellness
go ahead.
report?
Right, so I'm actually tempted to. Anyway, I don't love the topic the way it's worded, because I think Whit was coming at it from the perspective of, when you say, does the Bible endorse slavery? She's, if she's looking at it holistically, like, does the Bible, in itself, as a complete work, endorse it, versus, if you were to word it like, does the Bible contain any endorsements? So, it gets a little weird. Having said that, I think Dwight's case is pretty consistent. It feels weird to give a winner here, because I think you could interpret that question
No way.
both ways. But picking one, I'm sorry, I have to give it to Dwight.
Okay, we got it. So Dwight won this, even though Cage fucking left.
Why did Cage leave? I need to ask him a question, dude.
Wait,
He's getting ass. It doesn't bring me joy to
give Shark
be the one that
Yeah, well,
So-
that's okay.
so
Look, I mean, I just think like the very topic itself has a lot of entailments to it. It's like, well, what do you mean when it endorses? Do you mean that therefore Christianity endorses, therefore we're pro-slavery?
Was
Like,
just curious about the.
that's-
Yeah,
that's the
I agree. I agree. The question
No.
should be fleshed out more prior to the debate.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna.
If that was the topic, I wouldn't debate it.
We're
Because
gonna
I don't
pick
think
the
Christianity.
You should add whether or not God endorses grape at some point.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll put that on
I
there.
was just going to say though, that
Do you
I
guys
think
get
That's
paid
a
every time you
wait.
mention
Oh, wait a
Why
minute, I
do
get
you
no
not-
money, right? Like Dwight gets it and Shark gets 30.
Yeah.
That's crazy work.
No, why
Why
do I
don't,
get
why
it?
don't people
No,
why
no,
don't
no.
people,
Whit,
like,
you had 2 wins.
No, hold on. Just to make sure, Shark gets 30 and Dwight gets 20.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Wait,
you get the 20
why do I
because
get money?
because you are the king of the hill at the end.
You're the last man standing. It's the last
Yeah.
man standing.
Oh.
You know what?
Oh, no,
They just
no, no,
wanted to
no,
take
no,
money
no.
away
Turn
from
it off.
women.
Turn it off. Oh, God.
yeah.
Whoever did that, thanks.
No, you guys need to let him celebrate. That's not fair. Okay, Cage is back.
Yo,
Cage,
Cage,
is
I
happening?
need
Chiefs
to ask.
already? Cage, you back quick, no?
My phone died because I wasn't paying attention.
Nah,
I
you
thought
you
you
blocked it
back
already,
quick.
bro.
that was
Like,
all of like 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's like
Like,
for
you
4
don't
minutes
take
after
less
Chiefs
than
go,
that.
it's crazy.
I need to ask y'all a question because I'm confused.
So, Cage, who do you decide
Not
is the
today.
winner?
Yeah, Cage
Who
is
do you
gonna
decide
give
wins?
it
Let's
Dwight.
see what Cage says. Hold on. Cage, who do you decide between Whit and Dwight?
Oh yeah,
For-
I take it
for
that
love.
Dwight did. Huh?
No. Let's just hear Cage. Go ahead, Cage.
Yeah, I take it that Dwight motivated his position successfully.
There you go.
Okay. All right.
W.
We have Dwight.
Shark, let Shark have a victory lap. Let him have a
Dwight
victory.
Can
3-0.
I bitch thing?
To be
Can I
clear,
bitch
that's
thing?
only because
Here we
it's
go.
only because Whit
I want bitch
responded with a hermeneutic,
I want
which
bitch thing.
and hermeneutic is how you should interpret religious texts
No.
in lieu of how they describe a deity. You can still interpret religious texts with
Wait,
like
AR. Shrink
with
yourself.
literary devices.
Don't do it, AR.
That's
No!
divorced from theology.
Hey, this was pretty successful. Y'all got up to like when I joined, there was like 96 viewers. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
and you
I
fucked it
saw
up.
that.
If y'all do this every
Hey,
week,
wait, I
it's
didn't
get
hear
more and more
Cage. I
popular,
didn't hear
bro.
Cage's judgment.
What's
He
worse?
said Dwight successfully motivated his position.
No, I heard hermeneutics. What about hermeneutics?
Oh God.